This is the Epic Brum podcast, and we're looking ahead to the 2022 Commonwealth Games with 4 very special guests. Birmingham 2022 has appointed a team of renowned local and international creatives to deliver the opening and closing ceremonies for next summer's Games, and Epic Brum was invited to the Library of Birmingham to meet 4 of them, all of whom call the second city their home. Our first guest joins us by order of the Peaky Blinders, and it's the hit TV show's creator, Stephen Knight, and he begins by telling us his excitement about the sporting extravaganza coming to his home city.
Well, I mean, it's really exciting. I think it's our turn as a city and as a region to really bang our drum and to tell people what we're all about. And there couldn't be a better opportunity than a live event in front of 1.5 billion people. So, yeah, it's daunting, exciting, thrilling, and I'm so pleased that we've managed to pull together a team of people who have won every award going, BAFTAs, Grammys, Emmys, all kinds of things, and who are able to tell the message that we want to be told to the world about Birmingham and to really put Birmingham on the map.
There's an incredible mix in this team as well, isn't there? TV, theatre, literature, sport, like major events, people who've worked on the Super Bowl. And then there's the great mixture of sort of local and international knowledge as well, isn't there? Yeah,
I mean, I think what it is that those of us in the team who are from Birmingham, you know, it's up to us to try and make sure that it's the authentic voice of the region. And then to invite people who are the best in the world at delivering messages visually and through music and through content, and have them help put the thing together. So I would think there isn't a better team in the world to do what we're trying to do.
I mean, you've put Birmingham on the map once and you've got to do it again now.
Well, I always say it's not, you know, Peaky Blinders is a hit. I see Birmingham as being on the map already. You know, it's a big, grown-up industrial financial centre. But in terms of media specifically, I think Birmingham has in the past been underrepresented. And if I can do anything to address that balance, then that's what I'll try and do.
Yeah, I mean, because you've lived through all the years too where, for want of a better phrase, people have looked at us and just kind of taken the piss, really, haven't they?
Yeah, I think the good thing about Brummies is we don't care, you know, and people can think what they want, but there's a downside to that, which is that we don't tend to swagger and we don't tend to, show our best side to the world, where other cities not so far away do tend to do that. And I think we've got to do that in this global world of global economy, where we need people to want to come here. And I think that's what is happening right now. And so there's never been a better time for us to have this as a showcase.
I know you can't give too much away in its early days as well. Can we expect a little nod to the Shelbys in the Games somewhere?
Well, I'm bringing to this only what I can bring in terms of creativity. I'm not trying to introduce anything of my own work into it, and if it were appropriate, then maybe, but it's certainly not going to be about that's for sure.
So good to hear from Stephen Knight there, the creator of Peaky Blinders. Now, next up, we hear from Maeve Clarke, the Birmingham-born writer and novelist, who tells us what she hopes to bring to the Games creative team.
It's a fantastic opportunity, and I'm just absolutely thrilled and very proud to have been chosen and to be part of this great team.
For those of you who don't know much about you, you're a novelist, write short stories, and we're sat in your domain today, aren't we? The fabulous Library of Birmingham.
That's right, yeah. So, yeah, I teach English as a foreign language, but I'm also a writer. So short stories, novels. Novel number 2 is in progress. I've done a couple of things, short plays, which have been on at the Rep. And now this wonderful opportunity to be part of a team that shines a light on Birmingham and its hidden histories.
We've just talked about with Stephen Knight about the amazing wealth and depth of talent from different areas of culture in this creative team. So obviously you're from the sort of literature side. What are you looking to bring?
Well, I think like everybody else who's part of this creative team, sort of a unique perspective in terms of the creative background that you're from, and just trying to work together to make a story and a show that people will remember. And it's just really, really nice to be working with people who are from Birmingham, and who know, as Stephen was saying, who know the history of the city. They understand its nuances and its histories and experiences. So yeah, just trying to, as a writer, trying to help write a story, write a show that will stick in people's minds for a long time afterwards.
Yeah, one of your books, is it Whispers in the Walls?
Oh yeah, that's an anthology, but mine, was the opening story in that, yeah.
Yeah, and I believe there's a link to kind of Black and Asian voices from Birmingham.
Yeah, that was published as part of from an independent press that did really well here for a small press in Birmingham and produced a couple of Booker winners. And so it was an opportunity for people who were from Commonwealth backgrounds to write stories that reflected theirs or their parents or that their culture, that experience in written form. Yeah.
So there is a real synergy there, isn't there?
There is, absolutely, and I wouldn't have thought all those years ago that I would be sitting here now as part of this. I think that was the first short story I ever got published. So.
But I think also importantly, it's worth pointing out. I know you've worked all over the world, haven't you? You've worked in a few different countries. So you've experienced going to live and work in other cultures, and now it's about welcoming the world to your hometown.
Absolutely. I mean, Birmingham has a history of that anyway, of welcoming people from different places. And having lived in other countries, I know what it's like to feel as an outsider. And now we're able to do this welcome, as you say, the world, right into the heart of Birmingham with, we're going to be beaming out to 1.5 billion. And then you've got all the people who are going to be live in the stadium. It's a great opportunity to showcase Birmingham sort of locally, nationally and internationally.
What are you most looking forward to about the games?
That's a really good question. I don't know. Right now, my mind is kind of focused on just getting this show together. But I suppose the moment when we're all in the stadium and it's just about to start and your heart's beating and thinking... And it will be the first time we'll all be seeing it together. It will be a shared moment. So I'm really looking forward to that, yeah. A lot of the sports, of course, as well.
Of course, yeah. I mean, think back to London 2012 and how that set the tone for everything. And if we can have something, half as good as that.
What we're going to have is something different because we're not London and it's not the Olympics, but we've got an incredibly motivated and creative team, and we're going to bring something that represents Birmingham and it showcases the city, and this is the good thing about having people from Birmingham on the team. We can bring in elements of the city, of its heritage, of its history, of its past and its potential future in a way that perhaps we wouldn't be able to do if we didn't have this core composition of Brummies.
Thank you there to Maeve Clarke, and also part of the creative team for next summer's games, theatre director Iqbal Khan, who's currently directing the comedy drama East is East at the Rep Theatre in the city, and rapper Joshua Holness, better known by his stage name RTKal. Both men, I think you can tell here just how passionate they are about the second city, especially Iqbal, who you can hear first up.
But I'm so passionate about this place, and it's a pioneering, punkish, radical place, and we get the chance to kind of really celebrate it, and I can't wait to make a noise with this man, RTKal, on your left there.
How about yourself?
Yeah, same, man. Totally agree. As a Brummie, just ready to just represent the city in the essence of what it is and how I know it to be, how we all know it to be honest, man. So, yeah, it's ready, man. Really ready.
And Iqbal, back to you, because we're sat up here on the amazing balcony at the Library of Birmingham. We're overlooking the Rep, which is it's your turf, isn't it? And you've got something pretty exciting coming up there too.
Yeah, we're doing East is East, the 25th anniversary production of it. It opens in about a week's time. We start previewing it, and so yeah, it's pretty full on. But it's an extraordinary play. I think the play is better than the film, personally speaking. And I think seeing it live is like a roller coaster ride. So yeah, no, exciting.
Yeah. And I believe you're a Washwood Heath boy, is that right?
Yes, you've done your research. Yes, I'm a Washwood Heath boy, yes.
Yeah, because I read a a quote from you from a while ago saying about what a kind of grim, bleak place you described Birmingham as growing up, but it's very different to the vibrant, creative city we've got now, which is about to host a major sporting event.
Absolutely. And, grim and bleak from a 18-year-old's perspective, growing up about 30-odd years ago in this place, wanted to I was, excited to kind of have different experiences, but I've got to say in the last sort of 10, 15 years, the sense I have of just how much this place has embraced the underground scene here. It's just incredible. It's so vibrant, and this is so the right time to be kind of celebrating the city and the West Midlands and the regions around.
Welcoming the world as well. You can't underestimate that. 1.5 billion the TV audience this opening and closing ceremony is predicted to.
That's right. Well, this country. We're both children of the Commonwealth, and Birmingham is the premier kind of Commonwealth city in the world, I think. So we have something to share with the world, which is an example of the best of what the Commonwealth can be, the Commonwealth idea can be, and we can celebrate that loud and proud, and that's what we intend to do.
Just lastly from you for now, actually our last podcast episode, we had on Carlos Acosta from Birmingham Royal Ballet, and he kind of accidentally let the cat out of the bag that you might be part of this. But what he did say was that as a Cuban coming into Birmingham, how welcome he felt, which is an amazing thing to sort of in terms of the diversity and inclusion that we've got here, and what a welcoming place we are. But he also said how brilliant it is he's found the creative scene in terms of working together, because we've got a great ballet company, we've got a great orchestra, we've got a great theatre companies, as you well know, we've got great arts, great street food, and I guess that's something that you've seen firsthand too.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Of course. And that's the DNA of our ceremony. That's what we're going to create out of is the extraordinary kind of range of people who work here and the collaborations between those people. It's a gift and it's a privilege, and I can't wait to sort of continue those conversations.
Sure. And Josh, over to you. Do you want to tell us how you came to be involved in this?
I think it's just a collection of just really dope people, and having conversations and just coming together, and just it being a really natural creative process, and just ended up which I'm really thankful for, and being a part of the team. So.
Sure. And for people who don't know too much about you, do you want to tell us a little bit about your background and also your music as well?
My name's RTKal, Birmingham-born and bred. Most people know me running around the Digbeth area, putting a lot of different parties, events and stuff like that. Then went into having my own musical career, and now I'm back in the city just trying to work on facilitation and infrastructure and anywhere that I can be of helping the movement of the actual musical culture in the city more these days.
Yeah, similar as I've just said to Iqbal about the arts and creative scene as a whole, the music scene is absolutely booming in Birmingham now. I'm an indie music fan myself, and there's some great bands, but also, grime and rap, we're at the forefront of that now, aren't we? Over the last few years, that's absolutely flown.
Yeah, definitely. I describe Birmingham going through a creative renaissance almost over the last 10 years, and we've really opened things up creatively, and we have global superstars now, which isn't something that I really knew when I grew up as a kid, when I was aspiring to be in the music industry. It wasn't like this for especially my genre of music, and I'm just really proud and happy that today we do have these beacons of representation for our city, and I hope it continues to grow, and I hope we can continue to inspire the next generation to carrying that torch.
Yeah, something I read a lot about your work, and it seems a really vital part of the games, really, that we make the most of. I know you've done a lot of work with young people, and particularly those who perhaps haven't had the same opportunities as others in the sort of more affluent areas and stuff, and reaching all touch points in the city, not just the certain areas. And I think that's a big objective of the games, isn't it, to make the whole city and the whole West Midlands feel part of it, and inspiring young people, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a Birmingham kid myself, do you know what I mean? I grew up here, as I said before, and I think I'm very blessed to have had the experiences that I've had, which have inspired me to go on the journey that I've gone on. And I think something like the Commonwealth Games gives us the opportunity to have a collective experience that we can use to inspire a next generation of sports people, creatives, talent, just a city as a whole. Do you know what I mean? And I look forward to doing that together with the city.
I think that's a key message, isn't it? It's not just a sporting event that's coming to town for 10 days and then clearing off afterwards. It's about A, everything that is around it, and B, it's an overused word, but the legacy as well.
Massively. I think legacy is the biggest word in it. I think this is just something that really celebrates a beautiful moment in the city, just in general. And this is like a little crown jewel in time right now. And I think the legacy will definitely last here, just basically by what's happening right now. So I just look forward to seeing that process and that change.
So that's our 4 guests telling us how excited they are about being part of the 2022 Commonwealth Games here in Birmingham. They're excited about it. We're excited about it. We hope you are too. But before we wrap up the podcast, we had to ask them the question that we ask all our guests, really. What does make Birmingham epic?
Oh man, so many things. Birmingham is it's the Badlands. It surprises you always. It needs to make more of a noise about itself, I think. But you know, it's all there. The surprise and the pioneering, and the radical have their homes in Brum.
It's history, its diversity, and its potential for the future.
What makes Birmingham epic is just such a unique collection of things and people and experiences, and it just gives this unique like culture here. And I think it's time for that culture to go out to the world and for everyone to see how epic it really is.
We're grafters. We have we deal with pressure, and we come back and we deliver, and it's just a great, warm-hearted city full of wonderful people, actually. Really wonderful people, and we don't always, in inverted commas, sell ourselves, but we're really worth a visit. We're really worth getting to know.
Thanks for listening to the Epic Brum podcast. If you like what you've heard, you can find more episodes on all the major listening apps such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Epic Brum HQ.